Elton, Georgia, the first time Teddy Roosevelt's words, "You know, speak softly and have a big stick" came into my head as I reviewed an automobile was after driving a 2009 Chevrolet Corvette ZR1. Jump ahead 10 years and I stand perusing a shiny new 2019 Corvette ZR1. I had just tripped this specific example round the awesome Road Atlanta racetrack in Elton, Georgia. I smirked as I shown to myself, speak crudely and wield an incredibly fat club is more appropriate due to this new force of engineering passion. Engineering passion? Yes, the real deal. I noticed the faces of many Chevy engineers on pit lane as each journalist exited a ZR1 after taking their first blasts about the track. The engineers hung on every syllable uttered, noting every gesticulation and throwing a satisfied smile at each and every holy dollar and hash. They looked just like a group of dads pushing their noses as much as a delivery room observation window, proud fathers, everyone. Not quite happy with the kidney-flattening supercharged LT4 engine that kicks out 650 horsepower and 650 lb-ft of torque inside Corvette Z06, the newest ZR1 carries a supercharged LT5 V8 spitting 755 horsepower at 6,300 revolutions per minute and 715 lb-ft at 4,400 revolutions per minute. You don't need your kidneys, anyway. Certified top speed is 212.49 miles per hour, which got their start in a Tahoe average 215 mph 210 miles per hour. Chevy informed us the ZR1 is restricted with a top speed of 215 miles per hour for being within tire safety standards. So, let's recap, restricted to 215 miles per hour. Base cost of $119,995 for your coupe, actually $122,095 once you add the $2,100 gas guzzler tax and $126,095 to the convertible, and it's a street car. I'm now thinking, big fat club, with bells on. You probably have watched Hyperbole, then some, about road cars that sound unreal. In this case, though, I really haven't heard a production car sound close to this much like a race car in the tone and volume. It is bonkers loud on full road mode. Some Jaguars can compete within the loud scale, but I think the ZR1 has them beat. There is some engineering trickery at a mufflers, using a spring-loaded valve that burps open or stays closed according to driving style. Bring your earplugs, Mildred. Chevrolet says the ZR1 using the $1,725 8-speed automatic transmission runs from 060 miles per hour by 2.85 seconds and from 100 miles per hour within 6.0 seconds. Launching the ZR1 from the standstill is difficult. You must keep wheel spin under control all the way to 60, which doesn't do much to assist the time. I'm interested to find out how much time it requires to accelerate from 60,160 miles per hour, as I think few cars, no matter what price, would keep up together with the ZR1. If you have these many power, you best have strong brakes to slow up the ZR1's 3,600 pounds. Despite temperatures hitting almost 90 degrees within the day we tested at Road Atlanta, I saw greater than 168 miles per hour taking the circuit's serpentine back straight heading into your 45 miles per hour turn 10A. The braking area into 10A is downhill and bumpy, but okay, I'll back up several hundred yards. The ZR1 screamed at full rip at about 145 miles per hour, still accelerating hard as I followed the bend to the correct and flew above the hill which leads down to the break point for 10A. I have driven many race cars which are far less stable experiencing this flat-out bend and cresting the hill. This was both impressive and confidence-inspiring. So, I see 168 miles per hour, shut my eyes and imagine a quiet rut. No, I didn't. I progressively pressed the stop pedal hard and also the ZR1 dutifully spit my eyeballs from my head. I recently tested an exceptionally capable GT4 race car at Road Atlanta and was very impressed, which consists of brakes. The ZR1 was equally impressive. The tires, aerodynamic downforce, and all-new Brembo carbon ceramic stoppers combined for over 1.7 grams of deceleration. Serious race car good. As I mentioned, stability with this bumpy brake zone had also been excellent. I developed a mental note never to use the brakes this hard using a cement truck behind me on public roads. I tried the automatic and manual versions from the car. If I'm acquiring the ZR1 in order to, there exists zero doubt produce, I would choose the automatic. This car pulls serious G-loads within longitudinal and lateral aspects. I only weigh about 155 pounds. Determined myself active a bit too much inside the seats while doing my maximum attack, despite with all the seatbelt locking mechanism. To be sure I didn't wreck, I took some extra time generating a shift from the manual while trail braking or cornering. I was more leisurely lapping hard inside the automatic, as I could continue to keep two hands within the wheel. I had no issues at all with all the seats holding me solid with normal or spirited street driving. The tires on the revolutionary ZR1 is the same make and size found about the Z06. Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2s, 28,530 R19 at the start and 33,525 R20 rear. The ZR1 gives you a half-inch wider front trim size when compared to Z06, which apparently helps the ZR1 front end are more effective when combined while using 60% rise in overall downforce. The downforce improvement the auto produces a total of 950 pounds at top speed together with the $2,995 ZT K-Wing option also sported no surge and drag versus the Z06, Chevy says, a great trick if you're able to do it. However, the ZR1 is not a downforce car, mainly because it still relies mostly on mechanical grip. However, the number of downforce it comes with makes it very stable while cornering at speeds sometimes 10 miles per hour faster than could well be possible with no downforce. The faster you go inside a ZR1, the larger the speed differential becomes at corner apex. For instance, turn 10A 45 miles per hour minimum speed feels no different inside ZR1 than it can do in a Corvette Grand Sport, the way it's a mechanical grip corner. But you might take the much faster turn 12 maybe 810 miles per hour faster inside ZR1 128 miles per hour than the Grand Sport. Fun stuff. 3.5 into past I seemed to be at Road Atlanta for that launch on the Corvette Z06. On that occasion I was able to run a 1 minute, 29.8 second lap and was awaiting see by how much I could make improvements to that with the newest ZR1. Upon arrival in the track, I was a little bit disappointed to listen from the engineers the circuit was running 23 seconds slower PC had been, because of temperatures being almost 40 degrees hotter than they ended up earlier from the week, making for a really greasy track. This is not unusual. More often than not, we be entitled to a race with an extremely fast time with a cool day and after that see lap times 34 seconds slower if race day is really a lot hotter. It was approximately 3 p.m. by time I got to be able to drive a ZR1 by new tires. Despite the greasy track and almost 90-degree air temperature, I did have the ability to run almost an extra faster from the ZR1 than I had inside Z06, without really pushing hard. I was grabbing water inside the pit lane when I remembered the reports produced by some Z06 buyers who said these folks were disappointed with overheating issues at track days. Well, taking into consideration the day's heat, I asked the engineers if I could very well do a long run from the Z01, in order to see how things would go. Corvette Chief Engineer Taj Jukter provided the green light and pointed me with a ZR1 through an automatic transmission. Note: this ZR1 has gotten all kinds of new engineering developments that separate it through the Z06 and help provide more cooling. There are several additional radiators and intercoolers at the start, 5 being precise. Plus, a halo hood that pops over the regular carbon hood to allow for the taller LT5 engine and assist with extract hot underhood air. Air ducting throughout the nose has also been addressed to feature downforce plus much more efficiently direct airflow to intercoolers and brakes. The ZR1 now includes a true front underwing as opposed with a flat bottom front panel. This extra downforce is sufficient to counteract that which was lost through the addition with the extra cooling hardware. The underwing will also help direct air to more areas that want it. All of these changes helped the engineers feel confident enough to permit me to try the end on this sort of hot day. I decided to chance a fast race pace for 2025 minutes, execute a cool-down lap, and are available in. I felt that concerned right in relation to what a track day group would usually do. I did not have new tires due to this run. The run laps turned into between 1:30.4 and 1:31.7. These are very respectable, consistent, and quick lap times for just a street car at Road Atlanta taking into consideration the hot conditions. Lap time drop-off is usually as a result of tires gaining air pressure and surface temperature. Any extra lateral tire slip later within my run was controlled easily by slowing my steering inputs and throttle application, as well as the ZR1 never got nervous or twitchy. I saw no warning lights and engine temps remained inside the normal range through the run. Road Atlanta can often be difficult on brakes, especially with the end in the back straight when braking downhill from 160-something miles per hour to under 50 miles per hour. The Brembo brake engineer present laughed and said they had seen brake temperatures up to 1,400 degrees throughout the week, and I didn't doubt it. But I had no brake issues whatsoever during my long haul. I could tell these folks were hot and I must use a little more pressure in the couple of brake zones late during my stint, but the auto still was able to keep the same brake points as when I began. One more vital point: the Chevy engineers understand adequately how quickly things can be pear-shaped once you're working with 755 horsepower and 715 lb-ft of torque. Traction control and stability control have grown to be superb nowadays and certainly catch many drivers' ham-fisted throttle, braking, and steering misdeeds. However, the ZR1 also offers an electronic throttle delivery tuned to provide less immediate gobs of torque through the beginnings of throttle travel. Plus, the entire throttle pedal travel feels more time. I think the modifications work well. I was comfortably capable of control my throttle inputs during corner exit power application, managing to tickle the TC rather than slamming engrossed, which kept momentum going nicely. Indeed, a location like Road Atlanta could be the only appropriate venue to experience the brand new ZR1's heady limits. I am a big fan of vehicles that put a smile on my face, plus the ZR1 certainly overflows that box. The first time a holder experiences the brutal shove within the back a ZR1 can dish out, I essentially guarantee they'll think they got a great deal. Roosevelt can be blown away. 2019 Chevrolet Corvette ZR1 specifications. Price $122,095 base. Engine: 6.2 liters supercharged OH V16 valve V8755 HP at 6,300 revolutions per minute, 715 lb-ft at 4,400 revolutions per minute. Transmission: 7-speed manual, 8-speed automatic. Layout: 2-door, 2-passenger, front engine, RWD coupe. EPA mileage: 1,522 miles per gallon city hui. LXWXH: 179.8 by 77.4 by 48.5 inches, wheelbase. 106.7 inches, weight. 3,506 pounds, 060 miles per hour, 2.85 seconds auto. Top speed: 215 miles per hour.